My name is Alyssa Martin. I'm the choreographer and the director of Sex Dalmatian and one of the writers.
Hi, I'm Brayden Jamil Cairns, and I'm a dancer in Alyssa's company, Rock Bottom Movement, and a performer in Sex Dalmatian.
Brayden's got a local connection with Peterborough. Tell
Yes.
us, tell us about that, Brayden.
Born and raised, I lived there for 17 years of my life. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and I danced at Premier Studio of Dance off
Right.
Strong Road. That's where I trained for 5 years, and then I moved to Toronto and started studying here.
And where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school at St. Peter's Secondary, so this will be my big debut back
Okay. Well, I'm trying to get the local media excited about this. They haven't called you up for an interview yet, have they?
home. No, not yet, but I'm sure they will.
I'm fascinated by some of the writing of the Rock Bottom Movement um, website. Sort of statements of of what's important to you guys. I think it's such great wording. My favorite is to us, the nerve-wracking art act of live performance should be treated like a booby trap and treasured like a gift. That's kind of great.
Yeah.
And so do you have booby traps in your shows, like things that are unexpected that happen that we should watch out
Oh,
for?
Definitely.
Like,
yeah.
what should we watch out for in Sex Dalmatian?
Um, I don't know if I can say specifically what you should watch out for without ruining the
Yeah.
jokes. But there are a lot of different things that happen, and there's a lot at play in the creation of the work. So while there is the plot happening and the characters are all switching, and so we see the identity get passed in between each of the characters and each of the dancers.
Right.
There is also this like underpinning of comedy in the way that we work and in our process. And so there are little jokes and themes that run throughout the piece and how we enter stage and how they dance and how they see each other and see the audience. And there's this
Right.
quality of mischief, which is where the booby trap reference comes from, is that we
Mhm.
want the shows to feel like anything could happen at any time.
There's a lot of different dance styles referenced, I think, in your work. Like who are big influences from the dance from your dance past? I'm curious about.
For sure. I think a lot of the work plays with these winks at modern dance heroes. So I'm inspired a lot by Merce Cunningham and Martha
Right.
Graham and
Okay.
early American modern dance.
Right.
And some recent influences that I love. I mean, I'm really into the work of Pam Tanowitz. She's a choreographer working in New York, and our work
Oh.
could not be more different from
Huh.
one another. But I do
Okay.
think that she approaches dance with such a wink. There's such a humor to the way that she looks at modern dance, and I'm really inspired by that.
Okay.
And then there are a lot of references that come outside of dance from movies and comedy and things like that.
Yeah, movies
I'd
like
say that I have a lot of dance influences and people that I love to watch and
yeah.
take from, but also I would say I'm so inspired by a lot of comedians too.
Okay.
Like
What kind of comedians? Like older, newer? I mean,
newer, mostly newer. There's a
yeah.
lot of comedians coming out of New York who have so many great podcasts that I listen to and specials online, like Megan Stalter, Kat Cohen, Pat Regan. They're all so great, and I feel like
Right.
their way of switching,
Huh.
subverting your expectation is something that I use a lot throughout
Um.
dance.
There's a lot of nod. I always say that our work is like we try to go big Broadway on a do-it-yourself budget. So we're trying to churn these homemade spectacles that look hand sewn but have the glitter and the ambition of a full out
Right.
Broadway
Okay.
show. So
Yeah.
there's like Fosse influence and
Mhm.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
that essence of American musical theater I think shows up.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, probably going back to like the Gene Kelly stuff too. I'm guessing. Um, yeah. What about Toronto dance? Who's kind of cool happening? In the
In Toronto.
in our own Canadian scene.
Who do I think
What?
about? We are in the home currently. We're at the Citadel, so we're in Laurence Lemieux's
Right.
center that she's built, and she's a huge influence and inspiration for us
Yeah.
as an artist, and also someone who cultivates the community and lifts so many of our colleagues and ourselves up. We also often find ourselves sharing spaces and opportunities with Natasha Powell, who's a really amazing creator and choreographer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really, really look to her as an inspiration, as a
Sure.
leader in dance and a maker.
I was intrigued by the writing. You've got writers on this. Did somebody write some material? Did you commission some writing?
So Pony and myself and the company's dramaturg, David Bernstein, who we've worked a lot with, the three of us would get into the Zoom room together and start to write scripts. The three writers are members of the company, and we've been working together for a while.
It's kind of an unusual, I think, feature for a dance company.
Yeah.
And it lends itself to the script because there's more cohesion throughout, because we all understand the underlying joke.
There's a musical element, which I don't know much about, I think. What is that?
The entire thing is original compositions. So I sent the initial episodes to my friend who's a classical pianist, and she is amazing. Her name's Morgan Page Melbourne.
Okay.
And then she sent me a big folder of improvisations, which I then sent to our friend Benjamin Shapiro, who's an electronic music artist. And he took Morgan's piano works and morphed some of them into these electronic music scores. And so the work has some pure piano, some electronic music score, and then also some musical theater elements. So we've written some songs that get sung throughout the piece.
Oh, yeah.
And those are definitely the wink at the Broadway that you were talking about a little while ago.
And Brayden, when was the last time you were actually in Peterborough? Did you have a favorite, ever have a favorite night spot to go to?
Yeah, actually, and it closed a long time ago, but the Spill was always my favorite
The
as
Spill, of
a
course.
young teen. It was the place to go listen to music before we were drinking or anything. You would just go and listen to like pop punk bands until 2 a.m. It was very fun.
Yeah.
And then other than that, the Only. I love
The Only
going to the
Cafe. Well, the Only Cafe is venerable and it will never go away. Okay, that's great,
Okay.
guys.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Have
Bye.
a great night.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.